really happy you could join me on your mat today. We are going to be doing a sequence that focuses on our feet. I know for myself, going back to work and having to be in shoes all day has been an adjustment. So I just wanted to send our feet a little appreciation. So later in the practice, we will need a tennis ball. If you have it, or maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be a tennis ball, or any sort of ball that you have in your home. So let's make our way into easy pose. Maybe pulling the skin away from our seat bones, settling in to our mat, allowing your eyes to gently close or stay open, whatever you feel more comfortable doing. And as you settle into your mat, just begin to bring your awareness to your breath, allowing those shoulders to slide down your back, away from those ears. And maybe you take a full body scan here, noticing how your body feels today. Are there any points of tension in a specific area of your body? And just observing that. And maybe that means being a little bit gentler with yourself today. Yoga is about union and connecting with your breath and your body. It's not about getting anywhere or attaining a perfect pose. It's all about being with your body where it is right now. And as you keep your awareness with your breath, allow your jaw to relax and release, letting the skin around your eyes soften. And then bringing your hands to that outside foot, just begin to take your two thumbs, kind of cupping your hand with your foot, and just start to gently massage your feet, touching every area of your foot. Be squeezing that heel, touching each toe. And notice if you have any areas that when you apply a little bit of pressure, they're a little bit more tender. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong, just means there's a little bit more sensation in that area, in that muscle. It's a little tighter. We're going to do one more sweep of that entire front foot, and then we're going to switch our cross legs. So release that foot, and we're going to send out that opposite foot, bringing the foot we had out in front towards the back, the opposite foot coming out in front, and then cupping that foot with our hand and just doing that same practice, a nice little massage, getting in your arch. Maybe even massage the top of your foot if that feels good. And don't forget each of those toes. Let's do one More sweep of that whole foot. And then shake out those fingers, shake out those hands. Take a few breaths here. And we're gonna make our way into tabletop, coming onto all fours, spreading out those fingers, making sure wrists are below shoulders, knees are below hips. And we're gonna extend that left leg out, tucking those toes, pressing into the ball of that foot. Keeping your awareness with your breath. And then releasing the weight off that left foot, lifting that foot up to hip height. And you're welcome to stay here because you're playing with balance here. Or we're gonna come into full bird dog and extend that right arm forward, pulling that belly to the back of your spine. That core becomes engaged, helps with that stability. And we're breathing here. Release that knee and hand. Maybe sway those hips from side to side. Let's find that on the opposite side. Extend that right leg out, tuck those toes, press into the ball of that foot. Feeling that stretch in the back side of your leg. And then we're gonna press forward, allowing that leg to float up, stopping at hip height. Staying here for a breath or two. And then if you want to find that full bird dog, extending out that left arm, pulling that belly button to the back of our spine. Staying connected with our breath. And then releasing that knee and hand back down. We're gonna lift up those toes, tucking those feet, sending our seat bones back to our heels. This is gonna create a sensation in the back of our feet, opening them up. Make sure that all those toes are touching your mat and opening the back. Keeping that connection with your breath. Noticing in these harder poses if your face starts to tighten, and just be aware of that and allow it to soften. And then coming out of that, shaking those feet in the air, maybe you tap them on your mat. That might feel a little good. And then we're gonna tuck those toes again and find our first downward facing dog. And we're gonna walk those feet out to the width of our mat, finding a wide-legged downward facing dog. Spreading those fingers out wide, allowing those shoulders to come away from the ears. Keeping that connection with our breath. And then let's bend those knees. We're gonna walk our hands to the back of the mat, finding forward fold. If it feels good to you here, you can shake your head from side to side, front to back. Nice and gentle. And then here we're going to do a little twist. So we're going to plant that hand down so it's directly below our face. Put a bend into that left leg as we extend that right leg. And knowing that you can also keep both of those legs bent, listening to your body and what feels good, and then allowing that right arm to reach up towards the ceiling. Your gaze can either follow your hand or go out to the side of the room. If you're feeling any pinching in your neck or discomfort, knowing that your gaze can also look down towards your hands. And then releasing that right arm down, taking a moment here in forward fold. And then let's set up that right side. So planting that right hand down, bending that right leg, extending that left, and then reaching up towards the ceiling. Finding that gazing point that works for our body. And then releasing that right hand down. Let's inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins, gaze is down, back is flat. Release into that forward fold. It might feel good here to grab opposite elbows, allowing that upper body to feel a little bit heavier. Bending those knees if you feel any tension in the back part of your thighs. And then releasing that grip, bending those knees, slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. Bringing shoulders up towards the ears, allowing them to sink down and back. And then we're going to grab our tennis ball. Make sure it's close by us so it's reachable with our feet. We're going to find mountain pose here. Feet can either be hip width distance or a little bit wider. Finding that comfort for yourself. Lifting those toes off the floor and allowing them to come back down. Opening up the chest. Maybe contracting your thigh muscles and releasing. Swiveling those palms so they're facing forward. Having a slight tuck in that chin. Taking a few breaths here. Eyes can remain open or gently close. And then let's take a nice inhale as we lengthen here. Exhale, pressing down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale as we lengthen and reach. Exhale, bring your hands back to the sides of our body. We're going to shift our weight over to that left thigh. And we're going to bring that tennis ball so it's underneath our toes. And we're just going to apply a little bit of pressure. So just like when we were massaging our feet with our thumbs, the ball is going to do that same thing. So we're going to just kind of travel around our foot, back and forth. And if it feels good, when you find that tense spot, maybe you apply a little bit of pressure in that area. If it doesn't feel good, then come off of that. Just being nice and gentle. And keeping your connection with that breath. Coming up to the front of the ball of your foot, maybe you play with it a little bit, having your foot go from side to side while still keeping that ball under your toes. Let's do it one more time with this foot. And then we're going to switch to that opposite foot. Okay, releasing that right foot. Maybe sway from side to side here. And then let's shift our weight over to the right side. Bringing that tennis ball or bringing that ball underneath your foot. Just start to orient orientate yourself with that feeling of it underneath the foot. And then allow it to travel forward and backward, side to side. Just noticing where the tight spots in your foot are. Keeping that connection with your breath. Let's do one more here. And then release that. We will put that ball over to the side. And we're going to inhale here. Interlacing those fingers. And we're going to reach over to the right side, opening up the left side of the body. Inhale back to center. Let's reach over to the left. Coming back to center. Exhale the hands down. Let's take 3 nice deep inhales together. If we want to bend those knees, we can. Inhale as we rise. Exhale, release. Maybe that exhale is a nice audible sound out the mouth. Let's bring our hands together, allowing them to rest at our heart center. Taking a few moments here, maybe gently closing our eyes feels good, or keeping them open. Allowing some softness to come into your facial muscles. Let's end our practice today by thanking ourselves for showing up, giving ourselves a little gratitude, and finding time in our day to move our body. Namaste.